For John here, taking a look at the 12.9 patch notes. Came out about 3 days ago, so I'm kind of behind schedule. Had some stuff going on this week. Had to get it taken care of, but it's all done. Hopefully, I can be more on time. But here are the 12.9 patch notes. I'm gonna go ahead and review them, see what I like about them. I heard there's gonna be a lot more sustain. There's gonna be a lot more, or not sustain, but like livability, survivability. You know, for champions. So let's see what's going on. New challenges approach. It's time for the 12.9 and what I think that's supposed to be is what it the launch of our brand new challenges system. Complete them to prove that you really are the best. Oh, tell me if you need an editor. Tell me if you need an editor. I'm on the case, Riot. Make sure to brace yourselves for more axes and rocks because the mid-scope updates for Olaf and Talia go live this patch. That's really cool. I'm excited about how Olaf changes. Olaf kind of fell off, so it'd be cool to see if more people start using him. Other challenges we'll be tackling in this edition of Patch Notes include zombies running into towers. What? Capitalist chem baron monopolies. Foxes dashing around the rift. A not so jolly mustached man and cowboys rootin' tootin'. And by God shootin' in my ranked games. That's actually pretty good writing. Maybe you don't need an editor, huh? So let's see. Make sure to follow the mid-season invitational in Busan, where group stage will be kicking off on May 10th. That's dope. I can't. I mean, I've been watching, but I can't wait for like this weekend. This weekend's gonna be some good matches, you know. But so far, it's just been the OP teams, T1, RNG, G2. They've been smurfing, so they've been doing really well. We'll also be releasing the Edward Gaming skin line in celebration of their 2021 World Championship win. That's actually pretty cool. It's been a while. Oh man, I guess it takes a while to make a skin. All right. And then here we go. Looking for more challenges? We'll hit the convergence where dragon eggs are shaking up things right before our dragon line. Read about the TFT patch notes here. I don't really play TFT. So we're just going to keep moving on here. So mid-patch updates, 5.11, update and bug fixes. Arif is back in town. I love that mode. It's probably my favorite mode. It's just ARAM on the Rift, and I love it. Rengar fixed a bug where Rengar was not gaining bonus attack speed for his Q if it was used on a tower. Okay. And Sion fixed the bug where Sion was not doing reduced damage to structures while in his passive form, despite displaying the correct damage numbers. Okay, so that sounds like a bug and a half. Okay, alright. So here are the patch highlights. The nerfs. Ari, Master Yi, Nidalee, Renata, Rengar, Sion. And the buffs. Braum was kind of out of the meta. Hopefully he'll come back in the meta here. That'd be pretty cool. Braum, Hecarim, Renekton, Thresh, Varus. Varus does not need a buff. Gosh damn it. Varus does not need a buff. Somebody talk to Riot. Hecarim didn't he just get an adjustment? It wasn't a good enough adjustment, I guess. Systems changed, Hullbreaker item, and adjusted Olaf, Pyke, and Talia. Pyke, I don't know what they mean about adjust, because every time they adjust somebody, it just ends up being like a buff, you know? So I don't know. Anyways, here are the skins. We got new skins. That's gonna be dope. I'm gonna review that in a different episode here, or a different video. High Noon Katarina, High Noon Leona, High Noon Mordekaiser, High Noon Talon, High Noon Virus, and Prestige High Noon Talon will be available May 12th. I'm so about that life. Edward Gaming Aphelios, Edward Gaming Graves, Viego, Yumi, Zoe will also be available May 12th. I guess those are the champions they used when they won Worlds. Edward Gaming is the team that won Worlds last year, if you're not aware. Best team in the world right now, I guess, but I feel like T1's coming for that ass. We'll see. So challenges. Challenges track your overall progress with League across a ton of categories. Build your legacy over 300 unique challenges that celebrate the champs you've made, modes you've conquered, plays you've made, stuff you've collected, and more. Show off the challenges you're most proud of with titles and token. You can see how to measure up in your region with regional leaderboards. That's actually pretty cool. Now you can finally hit Challenger in something. You're right, man. Maybe I can't hit Challenger overall, but in different sex, different stats, maybe, No matter how you play, there's a challenge for you. Learn more about how challenges work. No, I'm okay. But here we go. The champions, Olaf. All abilities adjusted. Despite Olaf's popularity in Pro, he's been one of the least main champions in League for a while now. Correct, I agree. The flexibility of Ragnarok as an engage or escape and has fast clear speeds make him the ultimate example of a champ that walks the fine line between OP in Pro and meh in all other levels of play. I agree. With this mid-scope, we're aiming to shift some of the power away from his clear speed and into tools that will help players stronger and in more control of Olaf's survivability as he rides the edge of disaster at low health. These changes should not only help better define Olaf's identity as a berserker, but also allow him to take a new place as a viable top laner. So we're just gonna see what the stats are here. You know, looks like there's a change to Berserker Rage. Rage now provides 10 to 30% lifesteal. Maximum attack speed. Undertow, 9-second cooldown, higher cooldown. Lower damage, I don't know what that means. Minimum range, higher range, so that's pretty cool. And lower mana cost, so okay. I like that. Q now shreds 20-25% armor for seconds upon hitting a champion. That's actually really cool. Picking up axes now fully refunds Q Undertow's cooldown, but axes can only be thrown a maximum of once every 3 seconds. Oh, well, okay, I guess that's cool. Included a quality of a little buff to Olaf's Q Undertow so that now it grants ghosting more consistently to jungle monsters who he hits or near him when a Q is cast. Alright, not bad. Let's see here. It looks like the W has been changed as well. Tough it out. Name change. Tough it out. 10 seconds. So ability duration 4 seconds. They've adjusted. W now resets Olaf's basic attack timer. On activation, Olaf now gains this many plus 25% missing health, capped at 30% his current HP. So, and you get a shield for 2.5 seconds. No longer grants life steal. No longer amplifies Olaf's healing based on missing health. And I don't even know. What is that? Is that supposed to be in? What's up with these typos? Anyways. Removed. Ragnarok's passive bonus resistance are no longer lost for the duration of the ability. So new. Hitting a champion with a basic attack E, reckless swinger extends the duration of Ragnarok to 2.5 seconds. Olaf can refresh Ragnarok indefinitely. Oh, that's really cool. That's actually really cool. So they reduced the duration, but made it more refundable. It made the duration refundable in abilities that you hit. So that's actually really cool. Okay, I see Olaf's adjustments. All right, and let's see Talia's adjustments. Get ready to rock and roam because the one and only Stone Weaver is ready to rumble the ground. Talia has been struggling to find footing on the Rift, not only in mid but in the jungle as well, not to mention the mechanical complexity and punishing nature of her kit. For Talia's update, we really wanted to focus on making her more fun, especially for players who have been playing her frequently, reviving her presence in mid, and increasing the amount of forgiveness in her kit. We're hoping these changes shake things up and give her a clean slate to start anew. Okay, I don't really play Talia, but I'll take a look. It looks like they have changed the out of combat movement speed, passive fall off time when not near terrain, 2.5 seconds. I don't really play Talia, so I don't really know. I'm just going to read the new. Each stone shard now deals an additional 30% times 10% AP damage against monsters. That's pretty cool. Oof, okay. Stone shards now deal damage in a 175 radius area of effect. Okay. Q, threaded volley would now continue to cast while Talia's in stasis. That's actually really cool. Casting Q, threaded volley on worked ground now consumes the worked ground to fire a single boulder that deals double damage. Oh my god! And slows all targets hitting 225 area effect radius by 30-35 All the respective stats, all level stats percentage wise for 2 seconds. That's crazy. Are you sure these are just adjustments? They look more like buffs to me, you know? All right, so the size of the words ground on Howling Abyss now matches Summoner's Rift. Okay. Q threaded volley cast on words ground now has video effects, sound effects, animation, and icon. That's pretty cool. Okay, okay. Removed. Seismic shock no longer deals damage. What? But I guess we still have a larger knockup radius and a less of a time delay. So that should be interesting. All right, all right. And then updated tectonic shifts. Unraveled Earth now spawns 6 rows of boulders extending outwards for Talia with 4 boulders per row. Previously spawned 4 rows of boulders with 6 boulders per row. Okay. Wow, okay. So it's longer, I guess, you know? Or I mean wider, I mean. But, okay, so new boulders now stun enemies that dash through them for the duration of the dash. Oh, wow. That's pretty cool. I like that. And then removed, Unravel Earth no longer detonates to deal additional damage after 4 seconds. That's kind of sucks. That was kind of what, I don't know. I don't really play Talia, but I always saw the bursting boulders and thought that was cool, you know. And here's her R. I've seen her R, you know. Moving Talia while she is riding the Weaver's Wall will now cause Talia to dash to the location clicked up to the maximum dash range instead of dropping her perpendicular to the wall. Okay. That's really cool, I guess. Talia users are going to be pretty happy about this. Dashing when jumping off the wall is now more forgiving when trying to dash through terrain. New, not so fast little sparrow. Damaging from enemy champions or structures now prevents Talia from casting R Weaver's Wall from 30 seconds for 3 seconds. Alright, okay. And then removed. Taking damage no longer knocks Talia off her wall. Oh, that's really cool. I like that. I like that. Okay, cool, cool, cool. So I'm not really an Italian fan, so I don't really know what to think about all these fixes. You know, I'm more excited about the range on Olaf's axe, you know what I mean? We'll see if that has any effect on the pick rate. But here we go. Fixed a bug when Talia would sometimes lose her passive permanently if she had a spell shield active. Fixed a bug where Talia would sometimes not get reduced. So they're fixing bugs here, okay? So the rest of the champions should be a little quicker here. But those were the adjustments. So now we're just going into the nerfs and the buffs, you know? The nerfs and the buffs that were talked about. You know, it doesn't look like there's going to be any specific way to tell between a nerf and a buff. But here we go. All right. Ahri's Charm. 14 seconds. It's been increased. I kind of like that because she was throwing that charm out there a lot. Spirit Rush. Cooldown increased. Love it. Ahri's been getting a lot of playtime since her update. She's incredibly consistent at making picks and assassinating carries, all while remaining relatively safe and just out of reach. We're lowering the uptime on her CC and dashes to add more thrill to the chase. I love it. Not too much of a change, but I love it. Everyone's favorite Poro Protector has been feeling a little left out in the cold recently. We're hoping to bring a smile back to his glorious mustache by beefing up his protective power. Passive concussive blows per target cooldown has been reduced. Okay, so not bad. And then damage reduction, unbreakable, has been increased by relative percentage. I would say, 15% at max. That's actually a lot. That's a big buff. Braum should be back in the meta. And then we have Hecarim here. Hecarim isn't heckin' weak after the last set of nerfs targeted at his tank build. Hecarim is heckin' weak. We're helping him get his hooves back in the game by buffing his item scaling and increasing the horsepower behind his key survivability skill to move more evenly, distribute his powers across his kit. This should help Hecarim find a more stable place in today's meta without turning him into a pseudo-assassin racehorse. I like that. So they've increased the damage, it looks like, for his Q and reduced the cooldown for his W. That's not bad at all. Nice little buff. Then we have Master Yi here. The Wuju Blaze Master has gone a little too fast at killing his enemies, especially in late game. We're reducing his DPS, scaling his slowdown, and giving his foes a chance to keep up. Bonus attack speed has been reduced. 15% reduction at level 18. That's pretty interesting. Alright, so Master Yi nerf. Then we got a Nidalee. Base health reduced. Nidalee's been catching prey left and right with her recently increased spell output, especially at higher levels of play. We're bringing down her early dueling power so she doesn't get such an easy Nidalee. Come on, I don't think Nidalee needed to be nerfed, but they're only reducing it by 30 HP, but that can make or break. Nidalee's going to have to be more backline now, which is okay, but here we go. We got huge nerfs for Pyke, it looks like. Passive gray health conversion increased, Q mana cost increased, mana refund increased, now refunds mana upon hitting an enemy champion, R cooldown decreased, your cut opportunities reduced. So it's a bit of an adjustment here for Pyke, you know, but I feel like he's been doing well. I don't know. Pyke's been a little bone skewed toward mid ever since his changes long ago in Season 9, so we're reverting them to bring Bloodwater Ripper back to bot lane. We're also adjusting some other parts of his kit to further tune him toward the unconventional support he is. Kills and bags secured. Passive, it looks like there's a lethality upgrade. Okay, that's not bad. Bone Skewer now refunds mana, so that's an upgrade, but then they're removed. Pyke no longer receives your cut gold upon successfully executing enemy champions with his R. Last assisting ally will still receive your cut. Oh. So solo bolos don't receive your cut for Pyke, it's looking like. Alright. And then Pyke no longer receives additional your cut gold when allies kill enemies within death from below's execution area. Wow, so it's a bit of an adjustment. Alright. I don't know if that's a nerf or a buff, but it's a bit of an adjustment if you ask me. They've been doing a lot with Pyke lately, trying to figure him out. I like Pyke. Don't play him too much, but I like him. And here's Renata's updates. Base armor decreased, passive damage decreased. Whew, they nerfed her. Renata Glasgow is on her way to monopolizing bot lane at all levels of play, and business is really starting to boom in Elite. She's been getting a bit too much value out of her passive, whereas her return on investment for damage-orientated support items have been relatively low. These small adjustments toward AP item scaling should help balance and diversify her build portfolio. Man, they really do have a good editor, alright? He can keep his typos or not, he can keep his job, or she can keep his job. Base stats, base armor reduced, making her a little more squishy. Additional magic damage when Renata marks her target has been reduced, it looks like, or has been increased, I'm sorry. And additional magic damage, that looks like that has been increased as well. So that's pretty cool. So this is her passive. You know, I've never played Renata yet, but that's cool to see. I'm not really a Renekton fan, but here we go. Health and AD growth increased, W base damage increased, cooldown increased early and decreased late. R base damage increased. So basically Renekton's back in the meta, he does more damage. Good luck. You know, Renekton has largely disappeared from Pro after the fighter items change in 12.3. We're looking to add some scaling back so he feels a bit better as the game progresses. We're also reducing the gap between his W and E second max, since the choice leads to some serious win rate losses in average play. You heard it here first, Crocs are back in fashion. A quote from Riot. So, yeah, they're just making him more damage. They just make him do more damage. If you see everything here, they're just making him bring the pain. You know what I mean? He's gonna be less tank, more AD, more bruiser. You know. Let's keep it moving here. Looks like we got a Rengar W damage against monster decreased. Oof, yeah, Rengar has been going off. He kind of does need a little nerf. Rengar's changes in 12.7 helped this kitty adapt a little too well to the outdoors, to the point where he's now the top cat in the jungle. He is the most revered jungler. Rengar and Karthus, believe it or not. But Rengar is #1 in jungling right now. So it says, we're reverting a buff to his clear, and that buff only to otherwise leave him as is. Okay? So damage to monsters has been decreased. You know, and there's a bug fix. Rengar's empowered ability, and heal would sometimes play through the fog of war. Oh, okay. So now you can't see him no matter what he's doing in the fog of war. Before, I guess there was a bug that could let you see him. So Shyvana, W damage tick rate decrease. Does Shyvana really need a buff or a nerf? I mean, I feel like she was good as is. We're introducing some small quality of life changes in a batch of bug fixes to help fan Shyvana's flames. All right. So W burnout, 0.5 seconds, damage tick rate, and then new, the area of effect zone from Shyvana now applies marks to enemies that enter the zone. Okay. So this is more of an adjustment or a nerf, or I don't really know. Then there's some bug fixes here. Twin Bite will not attack player created targets. Twin Bite's second attack will not deal damage if the enemy was running away from her. Oh wow, that's a bug. We're not correctly displaying when inside. Burnout effects we're not expecting inside Mordekaiser's R. Death Rem. Okay. So those are nice to just see the little bugs that they fixed on every champion. So moving right along here, we have Sion. Undead Sion's passive damage against structures reduced. So I guess his passive was making Sion do a little too much damage to structures. Sion's been a bit too glorious in death. Although inting Sion had a good run, we believe it isn't a sustainable direction for him or League in the long term. Taking down towers by split pushing should certainly be doable even while behind, but when the strat requires repeatedly dying, it's not very fun for all parties involved. We're nerfing Undead Sion split pushing power in order to restore some balance to his circle of life. This is literally because of one player named the Baus. He literally went to Korea, destroyed the server with Sion, and this is what they're doing. This is literally called the Baus rule. The Baus rule, okay? Now, I need everybody to know that he went off on the Korean servers. All right, whew. All right, so passive glory and death. Sion now does 60% reduced damage to structures while it is reanimated frenzy. Oh my god. Not a wrecking ball. Oh my goodness. Baus, whew, put some respect on his name. That's some skill to be doing that to a whole champion, making them have to nerf him just because of you, you know? Oof. Respect. Alright. Thresh. Passive AP and bonus armor per soul increase. W shield strength scaling with souls increase. I like the buff. I like the buff. What is the value of a soul? Currently not very much. Thresh has fallen off quite a bit, particularly in the average and skill play, so we're increasing his scaling power by making it more worthwhile to collect the essence of the dead. Gotta catch 'em all. Hey, watch it. Watch it, okay? You're in the wrong genre, buddy. Very sacred phrasing. Don't just be throwing that around. So, passive damnation, ability power and bonus armor per soul increased to 1, and overall shield strength has been increased +2 per soul. Okay, so not bad. And then we have Varus here, who I really just don't believe should have been adjusted at all or given a buff. But here we are. Passive attack speed gained on minion and champion kills increased. W magic damage on hit increased. Oh my god, this guy is a problem already. I don't know if he needed a buff. People are going to be picking him left and right. Varus has been relatively weak since his lethality nerfs last season. We're buffing his on-hit builds back up to make his vengeance viable again. So maybe his damage has taken a hit, but I remember him doing some stupid damage in the first place, so we'll see how this goes. But his attack speed has been increased, and his bonus magic damage has been increased, so you better be able to dodge and weave this patch, because Varus is coming at you. And then we have the items, the items, you know. We have a change in Hullbreaker. Hullbreaker is an important tool for empowering split pushing, but when rushed as a first item, its bountiful bonus resists can invalidate laning and lead to unpleasant experiences. We still think it's a valuable addition to the game, since unlike past split push items like Zurat, Hullbreaker requires a champion to stay in the lane they're split pushing, so we're nerfing its early game potency. So I guess early game Hullbreaker was a little too OP. They've reduced its bonus resist while hunting alone. They reduced its bonus resist while hunting alone ranged, so melee and ranged bonus resist has been decreased. and sturdier hulls. Only attacks deal 20% damage bonus damage against structures. So, oh, excuse me, that was my alarm. So it looks like Hullbreaker, the item, has taken a bit of a nerf, but if you ask me, I'm not really a top laner, so it doesn't really affect me too much. If you're a top laner, tell me how you feel about that. I haven't seen too many people getting Hullbreaker, but when they do, all they want to do is be alone, you know? So these were the 12.9 patch notes. Again, sorry for getting them to them so late. Next video is probably going to be a skin or something, a skin review. But those are my thoughts on them. Go ahead and tell me your thoughts. Personally, Rengar definitely needs to be nerfed. I don't think Varus needed a buff. Nidalee didn't need to be nerfed. Messi definitely did. Braum definitely needed a buff. But other than that, the adjustments, we'll see how they go. Olaf, maybe he'll be a little more viable, but I can't see him being too much more viable. Pike still is going to stay in the metal, I think. And Talia, that's a toss-up. That's a real toss-up. So we'll see what's going on here. I feel like die-hard Talia fans are going to stay Talia. But that's the 12.9 patch notes and my thoughts on everything. Sorry this video was a little long, but until next time, this is Forjon. Stay up.